Hello everyone, my name is Moji. You're watching a Bitcoin Bubble News channel. Also, I think it's important to remember that Larry Fink said last summer, when the price was 30,000, that crypto is important and Bitcoin is an important world asset. He had been saying for 2 years that it was a scam, and that it was only for scammers and people who laundered money. But he changed his mind. He then said, "Oh, I'm going to be putting out an ETF." Guess who is watching us now? Robert Kiyosaki is the author of the best-selling book Rich Dad, Poor Dad. We'd also like to use this chance to thank everyone who put their trust in us. The best part is that it's free, and we read all of them. If you sign up now, you'll get all the new information for free. Stay ahead of the trends instead of just following them. Sign up for Bitcoin Boom right now and enjoy the new edge. This movie is from Dan Tepiero, and it's about the future of crypto. Look into things like real-world assets, business balance sheets, equity investors, meme coins, and big predictions for Bitcoin and the crypto market as a whole. If we only want to talk about price and markets, the change from $30 to $60 was to start discounting the opening of the ETF on January 11th. You knew everything about the price movement ahead of time. Then there was this move from 60 to 70, which was the buying of the ETF. After that, it's taking a break. Because of this, I think that more and more good data points will keep coming in, and the market is taking in selling. 30, 25,000 or 30,000 people who bought it are now making money. It's also getting scary for people who borrowed money to buy up at 70. Also, it would be great if the Fear and Greed Index was at 46 today. That should be in the 20s, please. I asked for a $20 bill. Yes, put it in the 20s, leave it there for a few weeks, and people will think that was it. It needs to end. In their minds, it must be over. Yes, get through July and August. September will be dull. Then, I think we'll have our Q4 run for the roses again in December or January. The ramp and the stream are given to us, and we will learn something new. There's a chance that Trump will do some good things. Could you picture that? Instead of just saying things that would be crazy. There could be an ETF for Solana. It's possible that space is coming up with new ideas very quickly. There are things like Bitcoin ordinals that don't exist. DeFi is always coming up with new ideas. I've heard that some people are upset that tickets aren't as high as they were in the beginning of the year. But the truth is that the space is now worth more than $3 trillion. That's the value of all the cryptocurrencies plus all the stock. The value of your $2.25 five cryptocurrency is likely worth another $800 to $1 billion, $1 trillion, or even more in cash. That is $3 trillion, which is great. Bitcoin is very close to ending June with a monthly loss, and it is holding on to the important $60,000 support level. Unfortunately for the bulls, the BTC pair may be going through rougher seas. There are a number of signs that point to more selling pressure in July. The long-awaited Metgox repayments were one of the most important things that happened in June that made the Bitcoin market go down. Before, Metgox was the biggest Bitcoin exchange. It will start paying back its debts in early July 2024 with 140,000 BTC, which is about $9 billion. After the exchange went down in 2014 and over 850,000 BTC were lost, there was a 10-year wait for this payment to be made. Concerns have been raised about more selling pressure on the market because of the upcoming distribution. Analysts are predicting a big drop in Bitcoin prices because creditors may sell their received assets to make money, especially since Bitcoin's price has gone up 16,000% since the hack. As an example, Nicolaus Panagiotsoglou and the other analysts at Chief Morgan say that recent actions from Gemini creditors, who probably sold some of the $2.18 billion in Bitcoin that Gemini announced on May 29th, back this bearish argument. For example, expert Dejan Kidd thinks that Bitcoin's price will drop to around $55,000 during the July Metgox repayment, but he is still positive about the market as a whole. A lot of Bitcoin investors may decide to lock in their profits at the current price because they think the market is about to hit its peak. For example, since May, the 30-day average of Bitcoin's adjusted spent output profit ratio has gone up from 1 to 1.03. This ratio is how much money Bitcoin transactions make or lose generally. If the number is above 1, it means that more investors are selling at a profit. In the past, this has happened at the same time as market tops, as shown below. The 4-hour Bitcoin chart, on the other hand, shows a possible breakdown of a bull pennant. This is a pattern that happens when the price stays in a triangle-shaped area after a strong drop. It ends when the price breaks clearly below the lower trend line and drops to a level that is long enough to be equal to the peak of the last rise. If you apply the same technical rule to Bitcoin's 4-hour chart, the lowest price that the cryptocurrency could reach in July is around $56,000, which is called a max pain situation. I believe we all do. I believe that FTX got rid of a lot of bad people, but there are still bad people out there. As I always say, the sky is like the people who went west in 1848 to find gold. The gold miners during the gold rush are a pretty rough bunch. In order to get the gold, people did a lot of different things. A lot of people are getting rich really quickly, which attracts a certain type of person. But there's also a big value here, real innovation. I think the market is going through a phase. We went through a bad market and blew out a lot of people. The market slowly went up all year, and now we've reached a high point for the year. Now we're going to consolidate and blow out all the latecomers. A wild finish is what it is. Those problems with how to handle the risk of a stock were real ones I had to deal with. How do you handle a group of investors and set their goals? We have a 10-year life fund. I didn't make it because I want one. I did it because it was the best way to lock in investors so they don't run away in bad markets, which is something many investors and people do. Most people, both inside and outside the place, don't seem to understand how hard it is to keep track of money here over time. No matter what you call it, a YOLO bet, a 50x bet, or whatever, anyone can do it. But if you don't have a process, a track record, or some way to value things, you won't be able to make it through 2 or 3 rounds. It's too tough. It's a lot harder than things like shares, currencies, and stocks in the real world. This is the only way to trade. I've never seen anything like it, but on the other hand, this is the only way to go when it comes to innovation, growth, and making money. There were over $100 million worth of trades on Polymarket every month in June. This is because people are betting more on how the US presidential election will turn out. There are $203.3 million worth of bets on who will win the presidential race in 2024. These bets are spread out over 17 prediction markets and are all yes or no bets. Donald Trump, the former president, is the favorite to win the US election right now. There are $24.7 million worth of bets on him and against him. Biden, who is currently president, is in second place with $23.9 million bets on whether he will get another term. But those chances have dropped from 34% to 21% since June 28th, when he did poorly in the first presidential debate. At the same time, the odds for Gavin Newsom, Kamala Harris, and Michelle Obama all went up because some political experts were wondering if Biden should drop out of the race for president. Because of how he did in the recent debate, bets on Biden dropping out of the presidential run and Biden dropping out by July 4th have gone up. They are now at 43% and 9%, respectively. People have bet more than $10 million on those markets. People have also bet millions of dollars that American rapper Kanye West and crypto skeptic Elizabeth Warren could win the presidency. At this point, those odds show that they have less than a 1% chance of happening. A Dune Analytics dashboard shows that Polymarket, which is based on Ethereum sidechain Polygon, had trade volume of $109.9 million in June. This was the first time it had ever gone over $100 million. Trading ranged from $38.9 million to $63 million from January to May. This was a 620% rise from the 5 months before, from August to December 2023. Also, don't forget to sign up for Bitcoin Bubble. Every day for free, the most important news will be sent to your email.